Imakok te kasha. Pasta wilatio.
Mainatik.
Sak. Tam. Kak sak. Le tiop saya tiop. Tawila. Sakilo. Belko haanea. Lelela kuyokutikusta. Lelela tsoka. Kaskuta. Uetanna kila usa. Tene maaten Jesus itiang wiletsi sak.
In hindsight, most my life's been a great lesson, at times stressful. But you know, I never minded brainstorms. I always thought that the rain, it brought blessings. And that's that optimistic vision when the climate is the wettest and you and the other children find a silver lining shelter. Later as teenagers we recreated that pleasure, soaking up the spirits of life with acceptance. Yeah, we were baptized in the sessions, never ran the dry like the weather. Then my life and direction was aligned with my essence. I would write every line with my left hand, while my right hand was clenching my fingers and digits and lifting my fist to the sky. I never recognized limits. I promise to keep scribbling and screeve my scale. I will carpe diem like a bird of prey. And here I lay, woke in the land of the sleep. You see, when I wrote this, it was January, and here in the land of the trees, all life in the forest was asleep, except for me. And this all happened under the birch moon, the first moon of the year. You see, it's called the birch because it's the first tree to grow out its leaves. So it represents birth and new beginnings. And these words, they wanted to be birthed from me urgently, so I went to walk outside in the forest and allowed my feet to guide me. They led me to a path whose soil had been trodden out by hooves and whose branches were bent backwards by antlers. And I don't know what happened after, but before I could call out the name Fintan MacBocra, my mind was taken over by a white stag whose antlers were golden, and it pierced my chest and threw my Trojan heart wide open. Now every full moon, I go there, just to pray to the trees, while underneath I follow these stags, down through the hollows and the veins of the land. I put myself on this master path, but actions speak louder than these words I waft. So I switched my craft from a verbal trance to a chance to be a person, to serve a task. Given what I've learned, I observe the facts, discern my purpose to birth a plan. I return to earth to be purged of man and re-emerge as a fern's unfurling hand. I'm from a bloodline of shapeshifters. We raise the vibrational ripples that trickle through the veins of ancient initiates. Scripture chiseled in DNA that's latent and twisted, awaiting permission to activate and elevate spirits, eradicating limits that fabricated our prison. The stag has now elaborately fashioned a symbol, entangled within its antlers, and the answer is vivid. I tried to pronounce this image, but no language could fit it. It has a sound that isn't found in my concept of physics, but still I embody mentional lyrics, distilling consciousness in it, cause I find that people be feeling what I speak about when I speak real on how I'm feeling, while leaving out the drama from the scene of being seen. I like to keep it real and take the scenic road. You best believe it, my best achievement is self-belief in myself to achieve what I manifest and dream is reflected in my speech. Every blessing is a seed that nourishes and feeds us with courage to be free. So please, speak the evil about nothing, even when perceiving struggling, cause I believe every word that we breathe, it will feed it and fund it. So I focus on seeds that will bring an abundance of hope and substance. I sow them in the cracks and crumbling of global suffering, and that's just how I function. And that's just how I function. Yeah, this road I choose to travel and go, it's no assumption, it's true to what I have in my soul. So go follow what you have in your own. Sure, we're all rabbits in a hole, just rambling home to where the stump is. So open to your sisters and brothers and let us bump this. From ourselves is forming a bed, like autumn against the earth, which calls us to rest. When birthing a new person, first draw on your strength. Breathe deep, feel your feet take the smallest of steps. And since that birch moon, I've still been birthing something in myself, and a big part of it, I guess, is realizing that words are spells. You know, that's why we call it spelling, because we're learning to cast spells. So it's been birthing this awareness of the power of the words we use, and sometimes abuse. But nowadays I feel less like a rapper, more like a telepathic Jedi time traveler. Back to fracture your mind like a fractal design that was flashed in your eyes after acid and lines. I am rap fluent, I've been through it and prospered. I influenced when I spit fluid like a monster. Now I'm chanting mantras, balancing my chakras, channeling these bars from the center of my conscience. Honest, whether or not you're a believer, I feel the moon moving as I move underneath her. I can feel this room moving as I move into ether. My greatest teachers are the face of this earth's features.
I will now turn aside to see this great sight while the bush burns and is not being consumed. And as he's approaching it, a voice calls out, "Moses, Moses." And Moses says, "Here am I." And the voice comes back to him, and it's a divine voice. It isn't any longer an angelic voice. We now think it is a divine voice, and the divine voice is saying to it, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the ground whereon thou standest is holy ground. Now, all ground is holy ground. Even if you're to stand in the Dublin tips or the Dublin dumps, like it is holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground.
I've let myself grow at an oak's pace, just so I could take the breath of a nice sage to reflect on the rhymes I make and make them everlasting. And you can call me old-fashioned, but back in the day, you know, we used to fashion stone into monuments of magic, much of them still standing. Now much of the youth are tuned into music as useless as plastic, made for one use before you trash it. We need to combat this unsustainable madness. Nothing's unattainable when we cut the complaining and come about the cranium of thought we are slaving and chained to the conditions we created after listening to different opinions which stated how decisions we are making in this instant are related to the distance we are willing to take it. Face to face with other alien races who maintain the rate that we raise the vibrations. When you're ahead of your time, you gotta be painstakingly patient, not to lay waste to the mind states you're changing. Rhymes laced with light waves might make your sight fade, and engage your third eye to see right through the time-space. That's why I've let myself grow at an oak's pace.
Like the old bushers that I see in Connemara, you know, the old scack gal that you'll meet on a bog road, and it is horizontal, flowing with the wind. Do you know what I mean? It is going the wind's way. You know, it is going the prevailing way of the universe. It isn't resisting the universe; it's flowing its way. I mean, those old little bushers there in Connemara, they too are burning bushers. They are burning with green fire in the spring. They're burning with red fire of haws in the autumn. They're burning with June fire. They're burning with fire that I haven't eyes for, that I haven't senses for. And it took maybe someone like Van Gogh, like when he painted a few cypresses in Provence, like to show us that a tree, in fact, is a green column of flame. It is green fire, like. So every bush is a burning bush, and all ground is holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground.
Tackling the lingo that manages to trap many passions in limbo. Cause I've been in this rap hip-hop, skipping on the spot, building stamina for my grammar before I enrolled to the school of languages. I'd be helping lost souls to navigate where the handle is. My right hand stays gripped to the mic like an anarchist. The only rule I live by is you and I are channeling the magic that is happening. And this is how we master it. This is how we manage to break the molds we were casted in. So long live, live long and long live. Long live, yeah, long live the Lemurian lineage of Atlanteans who landed in Ireland after their own island sank a bit. Them and the Tuatha Danann had dropped knowledge like the salmon that was popped by the Fionn McCool novice. I'm coming through like a comet, just burning up this atmosphere of fear by being honest. No, not a single human being could defeat me feeling sovereign when the core of me is reaching for the source of what is conscious, honest. Whether or not you're a believer, I feel the moon moving as I move underneath her. I can feel this room moving as I move into ether. My greatest teachers are the face of this earth's features.
And the feeling I have is like that if you did set foot on the earth, if you did put off your shoes from off your feet and you did set foot on the earth, then you are already setting foot in paradise. Do you know what I mean? The earth is paradise. I mean, paradise is lost, but it's only lost in our eyes. It is only in our minds and in our senses that it is lost. We're walking in paradise, 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 paradise. you set foot on the earth in that kind of way, then you never want to set foot on the moon. Then you never want to set foot on Mars, never want to set foot elsewhere in your galaxy than where you actually are. It is no big deal to go into space. We're in space anyway, aren't we?
It's an incredibly talented team, and you're going to hear a lot from them tonight. So we're going to actually go quite into depth on what we're doing, why we're doing, how we're doing it. And I'm just incredibly impressed with the caliber of talent at Neuralink. And in fact, the main reason for doing this presentation is recruiting. And this will be a slow process where we will gradually increase the issues that we solve until ultimately we can do a full brain-machine interface.
Give us all your consciousness, your intuition and insightful visions, and let us microchip it. Let us mine inside your mind and find your hidden secrets. We'll keep them under lock and key and mind your business. The hive mind is thriving and living fine without you influencing or prime incentive. So mind your business. Your mind, our business. Your mind, our business.
This is going to sound pretty weird, but achieve a sort of symbiosis with artificial intelligence. But I think with a high bandwidth brain-machine interface, I think we can actually go along for the ride. And we can effectively have the option of merging with AI. I think this is extremely important, merging with AI.
So, when I was a kid, I'll tell you the scale, Brian. When I was a kid, I had this like mad kind of enthusiasm about lightning, because when I saw lightning, it was just like this is the rawest, most expression of like the power of nature. And I had this kind of, I don't know what you would call it, I guess you could call it a fetish. That's probably not really a good term for it, but it was just this idea of like, whoa, imagine being hit by lightning. Well, you don't even get hit by lightning because lightning just travels through you. So really, I suppose it was a dream of like, imagine lightning traveling through you, because it goes from the ground up rather than the sky down. So imagine lightning coming up through your feet, traveling up through your body into the sky, and not like a dream of dying by it, but just imagine like that raw power passing through you and actually surviving. Like, what would that be like? And then not too long ago, there was kind of like what's happening now, I suppose. There was a day or two of loads of thunder and lightning, and it was right above the place where I was staying, and the place was vibrating, and I was vibrating with it for about 3 days and 3 nights, and that's where these words came from. So it took me about 3 days and 3 nights to get these words out and for it to finally work its way through my system. But in the moment, on the night when it was happening, it felt like it was a chain reaction from planetary alignments, compressions of fractal galactic assignments. Light language was active, refracting in diamonds found in the eyes of arriving enlightened life on the island. And then when I say the island, I mean Ireland, as in era, and not like era ya or era no or era Goancher, but I mean like era as in era Banda and Fola, like that era, that island, So it was life on the island, surrounded by lightning, connected to the ground. We don't burn up in the brightness. And now at this point of the night, I'm turning off the light switch just to see the sight of it, and I'm deciding that the night is more entitled to this copyright. So please, may the forces of nature strike me down in this moment if I don't properly, stop me is what I'm saying. Stop me if I'm not properly doing justice to the abundant, infinite will that love kissed and covered my inner kid with substance. Substantial enough to lift me up with justice, shape-shifting, time-twisting combustion, strong enough to thrust your mind to disappearance till you can only function by trusting in spirit. I must be getting near to a true self-appearance, cause the man in the mirror looks like a prop for appearance, a mannequin on show in the window of the home of the soul. Or maybe I'm just losing all my nuts and my balls. I think the screen is a crutch so we can cope with being in the box in which we are enclosed, like hands that clutch phones and touch so they can scroll, and we only express when we press hearts, and we never remember unless we're alarmed, unless we address it. I think we'll never depart. This is an SOS message for those in the dark, so please unplug from your modem in this moment. Find your high heart with your focus and hold it between your chin and your shoulders, bringing it closer till it's explosive, bringing the closure to limiting all beliefs that are keeping us programmed, until we breathe deep and press delete on the folder, holding grief that was coded by your TV and phone. Media shows it, we believe that it's so. I speak of a cold that is deep in our bones. When we feed it, it grows, freezing our whole being. Our spirit stream cannot flow. So row, row your boat down the river of Styx and finish business. You resist to begin with every breath. Breathe the awareness, you're an arm's length from death. Staring through these eyes, you're more alive with every step. Your consciousness longs to be caressed. All you must say is yes for ascended masters to help. You were the ever after, beginning, chapter and end. Nothing has ever happened without imaginary friends. Because the elementals and devas and Elohim are creators, manifesting the matrix of the thoughts you're displaying. The angels and archangels are holding space with radiance, using the compass radius, circumventing their patience, circumnavigating the galaxy in their spaceships. Pleiadians made the wavelength, Sirius dropped the bass in, Arcturus and Orion made the choir that framed it. Now they're taking us higher, that's explaining the changes, complaining and hatred, judgment and blame, shame it is sacred. Sure, all is just a face that we have painted on daily, but now a new mask is upon us, translucent and honest, and with the flash of a comet, past and future lives solidify in a column to access the volumes of ancestral knowledge kept in the college that a Minty had swallowed. Yeah, they have got the lessons and the blessings if you want it. So blessings to the ground crew. That's you. Them earth workers found everywhere around you. See, your purpose is incarnating vessels that target collectives marked for ascension, When you anchor to this earth, you're a weapon that harnesses the essence of self that's elemental. The earth quakes in the wake of your stepping, and airbending is sent with your intention. Father, sun will come if you express it, and water will run if you need to quench it. And if you need a lesson on health, then ask the question while sitting under trees with respect and acceptance. Cause I don't know if you know this, you see, but you see, most of our gardens, all of them in fact, they farm pharmaceuticals free for you to use for relief from the hula hoops that you've been jumping through. But you know, I think, or I believe so, that our own belief, it's more potent than the potion. It can recode what our DNA is holding. If you can refocus and hone your ignorance, then you can reform and mold your own story. Implode through a black hole, exploring all the wormholes that will unfold your journey. Because most learning comes from a yearning to know more of thyself. So why hurry? And why look anywhere but internally when your core center is the center of a turning wheel greased from placentas that enter through eternity? Do you remember in the past, before everything was half, before duality mind had taken grasp? Sure, we used to adventure through realities and laugh, imagining time just so we could watch it pass. But now we've got these lives and the bodies that they have, and the personalities we've attached. Personally, I'm more concerned about services and acts. The purview of your person's more important than the mask. I'm more accustomed to my purpose than the person that I am. And so a hex upon a pentagon, it couldn't curse this craft. When the message I impress upon you will truly last, far beyond the weathering that terror brings to pass. The mold of your soul is intact, that cast shall never crack. When the tap water tastes like swimming pools, something in your brain knows the minuscule particles are killing you. But hard-headed fools, they don't let the truth trickle through. Being individual is difficult. If seeing is believing and you're seeing what we're living through, you feel the unleashing of the meaning of belief in you. Some blame the state or the priest for our state of view, but everything you shape is created with a piece of you. So make peace with you. Integrate the beast in you. There's no need for you to speak of them and us, for they are us, cosmic dust. Sing along with the song of the omniverse. You pay homage to yourself when you conjure up the courage to stay solid in a world of soggy promises. Honoring this and that, my temple of meditations with a pen and pad. You hear me chant, it sound like a gun blast when my tongue go rat-tat-tat. When the drums in my habitat crash like the waves on the west coast where the best flows splash. No, I bet no hashtag could match a camera flash capture these spells I cast, because you could crack an ivory tusk trying to tussle with these rhymes. I be mindful enough to hustle in 5 timelines before I adjust and crush 4 of the worst before I move to the 5th. Yeah, this dimension truly is it. I'm pursuing the gift like the student of the Finnegas druid. I did jump in the pool of knowledge where the salmon had lived and swam to the ancestors, cause I promised the kids I'd bring back them old school off-planet skills that we lost in the fall of Atlantis after it damaged our will. But now a new dawn has landed. The sunrise is cracking on the horizon as your third eye is widened. You gotta die before you know how to get lively. So tell me, you seen them cities of light that move nightly? They're often disguised as clouds, as not to arouse fighting by those who don't know that we both came from the same explosion that blew open a black hole that encroached on the souls that moved toward it. Its tortoise folded our image and distorted the wisdom that our inner kingdom is storing. Still I'm singing these poems while most are busy ignoring the link you should be clicking is the mission before you. So don't live in the boredom. Prisons made of limits that fit in the program. 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 Fit in the program.
In this planet you're in, and we planted humanity in this planet you're in. The last time we had a battle's when the gravity flipped, and we planted humanity in this planet you're in. So please, let the band begin.
It's take number 4. Think I finally know what I want to say. It's about being human, doing the human being, and everything we do. And the work we do together to embody more dimensions into our life, elevate, lift us up, raise the vibrational frequency of this planet, this beautiful crystal rock floating through space. I just wanted to talk about the work that I do with you, because I work with light workers who work wonders to make light work of your purpose become in service. Inside us is a serpent rising to be unearthed. Some have tried to hurt it, smothered it with a purchase prescribed by the worship devil that cursed it. We're thirsting for this new world that we're birthing. We muster up courage confronting this injustice. We've received orders, a new order to trust in. Order to trust in. Choose a new corner, you're still inside of a box. Move beyond borders, live a life without locks. We can try surviving, living in blind ignorance, so we can thrive limitless, combining our differences side by side. Divinely guiding paradigm shifts, planetary crystallizing as the parallel switch. New concepts of peace that will actually stick. Dark factions got bombs, man, we got wands on our ships. Light-coded frequencies to make reality split. Last time we had a battle's when the gravity flipped, and we planted humanity on this planet you're in. You didn't fall from your mastery, no, you actually slipped. But since you're on your way back, that was actually quick. Let's hold hands as we jump this dimensional bridge and lose all sense of time, space, hers and his. No, these are not words. These are actual gifts. Open them in the present that presently is. There you'll find a presence that readily gives. Steady your thoughts and emotional currents you swim. The only currency's the current that your energy hits, and let it be it. Live in love every bit and never separate yourself. Your essence is this, pure source intelligence that is everything. You'll never have an ending, cause you'll never begin. You've never had an impression that will never exist, cause everything is just a lesson and the answers within, and we've been asking. But it didn't actually happen until we expanded past the last question that trapped us. But really, there's not an opposition or obstacle in position that could cause a blockage, stopping your intuition. So when you align with wisdom of the elemental kingdom, earth, wind, fire and water call the decision. And this is not aggression angle in my expression, no, this is passion from the planets, channeled through this man as a vessel, run from the sun, or stand, tan and accept it. We're not just a clan, we're a whole wave to the sentient, sent from the oversoul that codes the ascension. We help to download our new home in the heavens. You know we use poems. We use poems. We use poems to attune you to the tones, similar to Om, chisel and stone, and it is here that the mystery grows about the Trinity, the triple imagery of the poet, tricks and wizardry. Whittle whole trees to the bone, I scribble scriptures on scrolls, squeeze from the oak. So breathe deep to invoke and appease the abode of the she of the crone, mother and the maiden, the covenant we made undercover as a raven. I've yet to forsake it.